Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be continuing my part 2 Manolo Blahnik nail design, and I'm going to be working on my pinky nail. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So as we start in this series, I'm going to start with the background color. We're using Gelish Black Shadow, and I'm going to be applying 2 coats of this and giving it a 60-second cure in between. So for this shoe series, I've been working on Manolo Blahniks as my inspiration. Part 1 video, I used the Hangisi design as for my design. And today we're going to be using the Lenaga Watersnake pumps. These pumps come in multiple colors, but today I'm going to be using black. So I am going to show you a nail fail today and how I went about fixing it. I thought it'd be a little ambitious to be using matte top coat with blooming gel to create the alligator or snake, I guess snake scales, and it didn't work out that great. So these pumps have 3 different finishes. The middle part is the satin finish, and on each side there's a lacquer finish, and on each end is the alligator lacquer finish. I'm just using my detail brush here to fill in any spots that I've missed. I'm going to give that a nail cleanse. For step 2, we're going to be showing you how I did these sections and where it failed. We're going to be using Gelish and Madam Glam products. I'm starting off by cutting some tape and sectioning off where I'm going to begin my design. So since it's easier to start from top down, I'm going to be working on the top section, which is the snake skin. So I thought it'd be cool to put a layer of blooming gel and then use the matte top coat to create the scales. And I figured once that it was all cured and I gave it a nail cleanse, that the matte finish will pop in the sections like it normally does when you use colors on blooming gel, except it would just be a matte finish. So this is my first attempt at trying this technique. So I'm all about breaking boundaries. So could you imagine what it would look like if I successfully used blooming gel and applied this matte top coat in the formation of the scales and have it work so that in the light you can see the different kinds of the different scales on the surface that's a matte finish. So one, as my voice cracks, one is that it's really hard to see black on black or clear on black. So I'm trying to navigate approximately these dots that I'm going to do to create the scales. And so when I think that I've set it in place, I'm going to remove the piece of tape that I used to section off this snakeskin section. And then I'm going to be giving that a cure. And in order to find out if it worked, I did a nail cleanse, and it ended up becoming a design error. So when I looked at it, there was like maybe a couple of dots that showed up as matte finish, and I was like, wow, so maybe because I didn't shake the bottle well, because if you don't shake your matte gel polishes, I've had this happen to me before, where it doesn't end up matte because all the material that makes the matte finish are just sunk into the bottom. So I re-shook the bottle, and I'm putting a second coat now of this blooming gel, and I'm gonna again try to place down these little blobs to create the snake skin. And I don't like my nail to be thick, but I honestly didn't know how I would go about filing the nail without ruining the black finish and then ending up having to put more black polish. So I figured, all right, this is only a second coat, so I can just you know, make the other sections thicker so that it would match the thickness that I was putting on now. Gave that a nail cleanse and design error again. I only saw a couple of spots that was matte and that was it, and I was like, okay, forget this, it's not gonna work. So I canned the whole idea, and I put blooming gel down, and I'm going to be using white this time. It's not exactly what this shoe represents, but if I can create that snake skin, then all in all, it's still the design, somewhat. So in case I failed to mention, this shoe is about $900. Not as much as the hangy sea nails that you see next in the blue next to my pinky nail, but still $900. It is on sale actually for almost half the price. So for $500 plus dollars, you can get this shoe, and it comes in different colors, so you'll have to see like what other colors they offer. I've seen this in the black, and then I've seen it in kind of like a yellowish color or tan camel, I don't know. But anyway, still a little bit too pricey for my taste. So I'm doing the same thing that I tried to do with the matte top coat, but this time it's going to be sheer white by Gelish, and I'm just staggering these blobs of polish to create the snake skin. So at this point, as I'm laying this down, I'm kind of thinking, how the heck am I going to make it look like the shoe? But worrying about that later. I'm putting the next section up, which is the lacquer finish. So I'm putting Gelish top coat on this section here. And I didn't put tape this time because I have one border all ready to work with. In between sections, I did use a brush with some nail cleanser to straighten out the lines. And I'm starting now with the matte top coat to make the satin finish. Again, in between sections, I used a brush to clean up the lines. And then we're going to go back in with the top coat to give it the lacquer finish. And then last but not least, we're going to go back to the snake skin tip. So this is like a sandwich of textures. Again, like I said, the middle's matte. The outside rings next to it are lacquer, and then the end tips of the shoe have the snake skin. And I almost forgot to wipe the previous polish I used, which was the matte. So I didn't want that to be mixed in with my white, so I had to clean that off. But yeah, again, we're just going to be putting little blobs like we did in the last section. And ultimately, this came out to be like a simple design with a little few hiccups. I wish that the matte finish, the matte top coat over the blooming gel would have worked, because I think that would have been really cool to kind of see it in different angles and see how there is, you know, like that snake scale looking pattern, but with matte top coat. So maybe at some point I should try doing this again. I just love doing this stuff. It's so cool how like it'll start out as a dot and bloom out. So I like was just dying to find a space and like, you know, pop down some more polish. Okay, so giving that a cure, what I ended up doing is taking some of the black shadow, and because if you've seen in my last episode at Night in the Improv, I ended up using this black shadow as a jelly. So knowing that it'll wipe on a little transparent, I'm just now wiping some of this with the dry brush over the snake skin to kind of give it a darker shade. And it still quite didn't look like black snake scales like the shoe had, but at least it looked a little closer to what I wanted it to look like. But all in all, I really liked the different textures in this design, so that's why I chose this this shoe from Manolo Blahnik, the Lenaga Watersnake pumps, as my inspiration. And we're going to give this a 60-second cure. And then I'm going to be applying some Nourish Cuticle Oil by Gelish. And rub that in. And I'll show you the end result. And if you've seen the part 1 of this video, I did have such a hard time filming and taking pictures of the finished nails without my light kind of glazing over to where you couldn't see the design. So here I'm trying to kind of show you guys what it looks like. I have my Hangisi Manolo Blahniks, and then I have the Lenaga Watersnake pumps by Manolo Blahnik. I really love these designs. They're so cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And join me again next time when I do a bonus video, which will be a nail tribute to one of my YouTube family members. Thanks. Bye.